I broke policy to recover her husband's voicemails, so corporate fired me and it went viral. I worked customer service at a cell phone store in a strip mall for minimum wage. My manager Derek timed breaks and repeated corporate policy like it was sacred. The rule was simple. If a phone was out of warranty, we don't help. No exceptions, and don't touch repair stock without logging it. I'd been there 8 months, watching people walk out upset, but I needed the job, so I followed the rules. Then one Tuesday, an elderly woman came in holding a phone that wouldn't turn on. Her hands shook and her face was wet with tears. She said her husband passed away 2 years ago and all his voicemails were on that phone. Every night she listened to them before bed. Now it was gone, and she begged me to recover them. Derek overheard, walked over, and told her it was out of warranty, and there was nothing we could do. He said she should have backed it up. She cried harder by the display of cases, and Derek turned away and called for the next customer. I was supposed to say the same line, but I couldn't at all. I leaned in and quietly told her to come back at closing, and that I couldn't promise anything, but I'd try. At close, Derek locked up and warned me not to stay late and not to mess with stock. Then he left. The moment his car pulled out, the store went quiet except for the buzzing lights. I took her phone from the drawer where I'd hidden it and set it on the counter. It was water damaged, and the back fought me. I worked with a tiny screwdriver, terrified I'd break it and lose everything for good. When it finally opened, I saw corrosion around the connectors. I swallowed and kept going. I pulled the memory chip out carefully and grabbed an old loaner device from our back room. We were supposed to charge for it and log every use. I didn't. My hands were shaking while I connected the chip. The adapters kept failing, and I kept checking the door like Derek might walk back in. Halfway through, the back door handle rattled. I killed the monitor and stood still, listening. It was just someone in the hallway, but my heart kept pounding. I checked the clock. It was almost midnight. Finally, the computer made a little beep, and the files showed up. I almost laughed from relief. I copied everything twice, then clicked the voicemails one by one, just to make sure they played. In one message, his voice was tired and gentle. In another, he reminded her to take her meds. I didn't listen long. I just needed proof they weren't broken. 47 messages. I moved them onto the loaner phone and tested it again. It worked. The next morning, she came in right after we opened. Derek was in the back, so I waved her to the side and slid the phone to her. I told her to press play. Her husband's voice filled the store. She grabbed the counter like her legs might give out. She kept whispering that it was him, and tears dropped onto the glass. Then she hugged me so hard my badge bent. She asked how much she owed me. I told her nothing, and begged her to back them up this time. I thought that would be it, but she went home and posted the whole story on Facebook. She tagged the store and wrote my name. The post blew up with tens of thousands of shares, and strangers started calling the store asking for me. Derek slammed his phone on the counter and demanded to know if I'd used company equipment. I said I helped her, and that was all it took. He dragged me into the back office and called corporate on speaker. I heard a calm voice list violations: unauthorized equipment, free service, policy breach. Derek kept nodding like he'd been waiting for this. An hour later, a security guard walked in. They handed me a termination paper and told me to leave. I walked out past customers staring, heat in my face, thinking I'd just ruined my life over one choice. That night, a reporter called me and asked if it was true I got fired for saving a widow's voicemails. The next day, they filmed a short interview in the parking lot. The clip spread fast, and people got furious at the company. Corporate got flooded with calls and angry reviews, and then companies started reaching out to me. 3 different places emailed me in 1 week, but one message stood out. It was from a small business called Legacy Data Recovery. They said they helped families recover lost digital memories, and they saw what I did. They asked if I'd come in. I showed up in my only decent button-down, palms sweating, stomach tight. The owner, Priya, asked me to walk her through exactly how I pulled the data, so I did, step by step. The chip, the corrosion, the adapters, the double copy, and the quick playback checks. She listened, then said that when people are grieving, they don't need a lecture. They need someone who won't quit. She slid an offer letter across the desk for head technician. Triple my old pay, with benefits, starting Monday. My fingers were still shaking when I signed it, and Priya reached over the desk and shook my hand. Now they're saying I deserved being fired for helping her. Was I wrong?